Hey everyone, in today's video I'll be sharing how I created this page. I'll be using my newest stencil. It's over in my shop now. This one is called Dreamer. It's inspired by a painting I did, and I just wanted to show you how I like to use it in my art journal. I'm working in my Dilutions creative diary. I've gone ahead and gessoed the page, and now I'm just drawing through my stencil. Sometimes I'll work off of my imagination, but most of the time I use a reference, even if it's just for inspiration. I'll just glance at it just to make sure things are in the right spot, and I'll add some details that I probably wouldn't have had I not had the photo. I had no idea what this page was going to look like in the end, but I was just kind of going with the flow. This stencil is kind of designed for the hair to come flowing down, but if you go over to my website, you'll see that this stencil can be kind of manipulated and the hair can be short, up, she can have to one side. There are tons of different ways you can use this stencil. I'm going to remove some of the pencil with my kneaded eraser, and then I'm just going to seal it with some matte medium. This process is typically how I start all of my paintings. For my craft paints, I'm using warm beige, raw sienna, burnt umber, and burnt sienna. I'm using craft paint so my pages don't stick together. I do have some matte medium down, but I don't really use it on this page for some reason. Normally I do, but on this page I didn't really use a lot of it. When I am painting faces, I paint in lots of layers, and I kind of go back and forth. Like I'll go from dark to light and then I'll darken it and lighten it again. It's not really just one straight path. I'm kind of zigzagging all over the place. So my lightest color on my palette is the warm beige. Or if you have unbleached titanium white, you can do that. I feel like when you're painting brown skin tone and you use titanium white really early, it can gray out the skin. Sometimes you might want that, but in this case, that's not what I wanted. So I left it out kind of until the last minute. I like to darken up my features before I go too far into layering the skin tone so I don't lose that detail. Whenever I mix a lip color, I'll mix in the skin tone color as well so that it all kind of flows together. It feels really good to be back in my art journal. As I'm getting older, I notice that I'm not painting as frequently or as fast as I normally do. And I think that was because I had a really bad burnout a year ago and it was pretty rough. And earlier this year, even I was taking my time to kind of come back online, posting and making videos. I like to mix in some ultramarine blue to my burnt umber and burnt sienna combination. I use this for the darker skin tone, like the shadows, and I'll use it on the skin tone as well because I noticed that if I don't do that, then my skin tones are redder and they're more saturated than I like them to be. So right here, she's looking a little rough. I'm just that in that ugly phase. And this is when you really have to just, trust the process. Sometimes taking a break and clearing my palette really helps me kind of reset. Here I experimented with using a different kind of beige just to see what would happen. And I don't know if I really like that. So I kind of went back to that warm beige color. I think the in between stages, like these stages right here, I'm working wet into wet and I'm letting everything kind of meld together. And then I'll let everything dry and then go in with my highlights. If I ever get completely stuck on a painting, it's probably because I'm either moving too fast or I'm just trying to do too much. Sometimes I'll isolate each feature so that I can slow the pace down and kind of give it more attention. Taking more time on each project and each page has really helped me enjoy the process of art again. I don't have that urge to rush through my art journals or sketchbooks like I used to, and that allows me to experiment and try new things. At this point, I'm working on all my highlights. I went kind of light with her neck, so I've got to kind of tone that in and blend that down. This color is called butterscotch, and I added it to my base color, which is the burnt umber, burnt sienna, and it made for a really nice highlight color. This soft purple color turned out really well for her lips, and I also used it for the blush. Whenever I'm painting blush, I'll do like a dry brush so that it's kind of sheer. I didn't do much with her hair. I had this big plan to do a double spread and have it go into kind of like a landscape on the left side, but this page set open for 3 days and I could not figure out what to do on that other side. I painted over so many times and nothing really looked right. It kept overpowering the portrait. So I kind of just did something abstract and left it alone. And like I said earlier, when I get really stuck like that, that probably means I'm doing too much and I just need to simplify. For the background, I just did some distressing. I just mixed in some blues. I took the purple that was on her cheeks and her lips and I put that in the background. If you'd like to try this stencil for yourself, I'll link it down below. If you purchased during my pre-order sale, thank you so much. Your order has already shipped out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.